how is it going, Trailblazers? So, over the last couple of days, we've gotten another really interesting leak regarding the Fate collaboration. Now up until this point, most of the discussion has been focused on Gilgamesh and Rin Tasaka, but it looks like another incredibly popular Fate character might be making an appearance as well. According to a brand new leak, the mysterious placeholder character known as ISHTAR has been identified by data miners. And according to the source that posted this info, this placeholder character is said to be the fan-favorite character ISHTAR from Fate Grand Order, which is honestly a pretty big surprise. So if this information ends up being accurate, then there is now a very real possibility that ISHTAR could eventually become playable in Honkai Star Rail. So today, let's go over everything we know so far, what this new leak actually says, and why this could be hinting at a future playable version of ISHTAR. But before we get started, let me just give the usual disclaimer that everything discussed here is based on unofficial sources. Nothing is officially confirmed yet, and things can still change before these updates actually release, so definitely take everything with a grain of salt. So according to a very popular source named Sakura Haven, ISHTAR has now been identified as ISHTAR. She appears during the Fate collaboration story with the same model as Rin, with no news so far of her actual model from FGO making an appearance later down the line. However, the biggest question everyone has right now is whether she's simply an NPC or if Hoyoverse actually plans to make her playable in the future. And unfortunately, the answer is that nobody knows yet. The leak specifically states that there is currently no proof one way or the other. At the moment, ISHTAR appears to be using an avatar model tied to an NPC ID. Normally, that would suggest she's just a story character. But apparently we've seen something very similar happen before. The leaker compares the situation to Morton Axe Blade, who originally appeared using what was essentially a recolored Blade model before eventually receiving more attention later on. Because of that, ISHTAR's current placeholder shouldn't immediately rule out the possibility of her becoming playable. It could simply be a temporary solution until Hoyoverse finishes her actual character model. Of course, that's still speculation for now, but it does leave the door wide open. Personally, I think the most important thing to watch over future patches is whether a completely unique model gets added to the game. If ISHTAR receives her own fully customized model with unique animations instead of simply sharing another character's proportions, then I think the chances of her eventually becoming playable increase quite a bit. After all, ISHTAR is one of the most popular characters in the entire Fate franchise. It would honestly be surprising if Hoyoverse only used her for a brief story appearance and never brought her back again. Another thing worth considering is the future of the collaboration itself. Right now, we're only getting Gilgamesh and Rin Tasaka as playable characters. But if the Fate collaboration ends up being a huge success, which it very likely will, there's nothing stopping Hoyoverse from doing a second collaboration later down the line. And if that happens, ISHTAR would probably be one of the strongest candidates for a future playable release. She's incredibly popular, has a massive fan base, and would almost certainly generate plenty of excitement for another crossover event. That being said, I do want to stress that this is still speculation. The leak only identifies ISHTAR as ISHTAR. It does not confirm that she's becoming playable. Right now, all we know is that she'll apparently appear during the collaboration story, and that there are still several unanswered questions regarding her model and overall role. We'll likely have a much better idea once the remaining collaboration assets are added into the game files over the coming days. Still, this is definitely one of the more exciting Fate leaks we've seen recently. Even if ISHTAR doesn't become playable immediately, simply appearing in the story could be setting her up for something much bigger in the future. And considering how much Hoyoverse likes revisiting successful collaborations, I definitely wouldn't rule out a second Fate crossover featuring additional playable characters. For now, though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens once more information starts coming out. But anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think ISHTAR is eventually going to become playable in Honkai Star Rail, or do you think she'll remain an NPC exclusive to the Fate collaboration story? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Honkai Star Rail news, character guides, and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.